Welcome back to BRMC's Healthy Connections. We've been talking with Johnny Harvey today about how to get fit as far as eating well and with some exercise. It's a new year, and Johnny, with the employee health and wellness that you run, you've got a lot of hats that you wear as far as taking care of the employees at BRMC, and tell folks a little bit about some of the things that you do throughout the year.
We do a number of different things. Our biggest event is our annual wellness screening that we put on for all the employees. Mm-hmm. And the employees, they each get a comprehensive lab analysis through the BRMC lab for free. So comprehensive metabolic panel, your CBC, the whole gamut of labs, cholesterol, blood sugar, thyroid. It really is everything. Mm-hmm. And we also measure BMI, which is height and weight, blood pressure, and smoking status or tobacco use status. Mm-hmm. And we actually offer incentives. So we set the bar kind of high for a lot of these things, and if you meet the criteria, then you get a discount on your health insurance premium, or if you don't have health insurance at the hospital, you actually get a cash reward.
Right.
As it is.
That's great incentive.
It is. It's great incentive.
Yeah. We need to be healthy to be taking care of our patients. They're the ones that should be sick, not the
exactly.
folks taking care of them.
Yeah, the public is going to look to us to be the healthy people.
Right.
When we're healthcare, you would think that we should be the healthy ones.
Mm-hmm. And we've got a lot of challenges just geographically where we live. We like our fried foods.
Oh, sure.
There's just no two ways about it. It's kind of a staple, and it's hard to walk away sometimes with biscuits and gravy are awful good.
They are good.
So
you just have to go an extra mile or two.
Yeah,
biscuit and gravy.
Yeah, that's just it. It's all about balance, isn't it? It's
sure.
a trade-off, sure. Nobody's saying you can't have these things
just
once in a
every
while.
once in a while.
Yeah, but
Right.
not as a
And when you do have it, instead of having 3 biscuits and gravy, just have 1.
Yeah. Satisfy the urge,
Right.
and then move on from there and get more exercise. And you're a runner. You play all sorts of sports yourself, don't you?
Everything.
Yeah, volleyball and ragdoll and softball, and just a little bit of something. A runner, you
anything
do.
That's around.
Yeah. Good for you. And obviously it works. So, yeah.
Try and stay young.
Yeah. Now see, that's an avenue we haven't.
I don't know if I have any tips for that.
Well, I think that's a huge one. By doing a lot of exercise, and
Sure.
you were talking about before with employees that they've got the Knox gym, and I know right now all around town, all the gyms are having specials and to get people out getting healthier. So you don't want to. What about exercising in pairs? I would imagine that would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
For most people, it really does help.
Yeah.
Because it's basically accountability, and you tend to push yourself a little harder when you're with someone else.
Yeah. That old competitive spirit sometimes comes out too.
It can be competitive. It's also that if you have someone, say you're lifting weights, you have that person spotting you, so maybe you can do that 1 or 2 extra repetitions,
right.
whereas you could not before. But just generally, people tend to push each other and support each other.
I always had a friend that we met at the crack of dawn walking, and it was, you didn't want to call and wake somebody up if they weren't. You just, the accountability, like you say.
Yeah.
So you just got up, put stuff on, and went. Yeah.
Yeah. It forces you to go ahead and do it, even on the days you don't necessarily want to, which is good.
And I know too that things that people may not think about or know about. One of the favorite things at the hospital that we all love is when you and your staff come around with fresh fruit, and you'll have that just to remind everybody, hey, there's a great way to eat, and this is one of them. So
we do that every 2 or 3 months, usually about every quarter, and it's just the simple. We call it a fruit cart or a food cart, and we'll literally just take a wheeled cart around with fruit or granola or whatever the healthy item may be, and it has no catches to it. We're just literally taking the healthy food around.
And boy, do we love to see you coming.
It's the most popular thing we do. It's the simplest. thing we do, but it really is the most popular.
Yep.
People just light up when they see that
Yep.
no strings attached food.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's just a better way to do it. I know in years past, it was always well received also, but I mean, a hot fudge sundae or build your own sundae cart was taken around the hospital,
Right.
which is great once in a while,
Every
but
once
not
in a
as the
while.
mainstay.
Right.
So we just don't want to do that. We want to get the point across that healthy eating can be fun. It can be it's good for you, and it's not a it's not a punishment.
Not at all.
So, well, what else is going on in employee health and wellness that you can tell us about in the new year? What's coming up?
Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and remind everyone that it's not too late to get a flu shot.
Good idea.
That
Yep.
there are, I know some offices are out of flu vaccine, is my understanding, but I believe you can still get vaccine at the health department.
Walmart Clinic still has them.
Walmart Clinic
Yeah, our clinic at
still has.
Walmart still has some.
And the strains that we're seeing are actually a good match for the vaccine this year. So the vaccine definitely offers quite a bit of protection this time around.
Yeah, we as employees are so blessed because once again, it's something that your department does. You bring it to us, and we're in the middle of our busy days, and there you are with nurses, and we get our flu shot and keep going.
Keep going, yeah. And it offers protection not only to you, but to
everyone.
The patients and everyone around you.
Yeah.
Because you can have the flu and not even know it.
Yeah.
You can be what they call a silent carrier. So
I used to call it Typhoid Mary when it was typhoid.
That may be something else.
I'm dating myself, but yeah, you were a carrier. Yeah.
Yeah, a silent carrier. So you don't show any signs, but you're carrying it and you can spread the flu.
Yeah.
So
And that's something. So that's another thing that we always recommend that everyone do, whether it's cold, flu season, but it's something to do seriously year-round, and that is wash your hands. You really, with all of the things that you're touching, especially in the hospital, all of us have learned that a long time ago, to make sure that we keep our hands very, very clean. And you'll see all of us with gel, usually at our desks, that we're washing them all day, because we don't know who's touched the elevator button. We don't know who's touched the door handle and what they may have, that by a simple hand washing or making sure your hands are clean, that you are avoiding. So you want to do that, especially when you're out shopping. I mean, you don't know,
for sure.
With these silent carriers, you don't know who's out there. The handle on the shopping cart, the doors going in,
Yeah, that's the best way to prevent the spread of
good old
pretty
hand
well
washing.
any disease.
Yeah. And and sneeze into your if you're suddenly caught someplace, it's without a tissue, without a handkerchief, So get that or cough.
Yep.
Teach your kids to do the same
Cough
thing.
or sneeze into your
Cough
sleeve.
and sneeze into your sleeve, right? It just keeps the germs from spreading. And I always feel so badly when I hear, one child picks it up at school and brings it home and gives it to the whole
spreads,
family.
yep.
And, we want to try and avoid all of that as much as we can. And hand washing can help.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's a great tool to staying healthy. So, plus all that fruit that you're eating. So
Yeah, vitamin C.
Yeah.
They say.
now, we were talking just before the break a little bit, just reporting the news, so to speak, as we hear about it, and that was with the high fructose corn syrup. Is that
Right.
one now that there's something about with your metabolism, it doesn't break it down?
Yeah, it metabolizes a little differently, but
Yeah.
as you mentioned, it tends to not make you feel as full as you may be. So your body doesn't necessarily recognize the signals
Right.
that your stomach is full,
And that's
so you
in-
eat a little more.
That's in a lot of sodas, isn't it? Like diet sodas?
Well, not in diet.
No, or not
It'll
diet,
be-
but in,
in most of the regular sodas, it will be.
yeah.
Now, every once in a while you'll see, I think they call them throwbacks, where they'll have real sugar in them. Which is better, but you're still, look at the label and you'll see exactly how much sugar you're getting,
Yeah.
but just by reading the labels.
Let's say, I don't know, not to put you on the spot, I'm just thinking out loud here, but I'm thinking, let's say you take somebody 130 or 40 pounds, okay? How much sugar and fat can they have in a day? I mean, on a 1,200 calorie diet or 1,400?
I would have to calculate it up. For someone, for like a normal person that's 140, 150 pounds,
Okay.
I mean, you're looking at about 1,800 calories a day to maintain weight, and that's without any activity built in. So you would have to adjust for activity.
Okay.
And from there, you would break it down into percentages. Carbohydrates, you want 50 to 60%, somewhere in there. Fat, you're looking at 10 to 20%, and then protein about 25% of your calories.
Okay.
So you kind of have to break it down by
Doing it that way.
doing it that way. So,
Yeah.
whereas a fat's going to be 9 calories per gram, and then protein and carbs are 4 calories per gram.
Wow.
And alcohol is 7, which people don't always think about. Alcohol is 7.
Yeah. And that's, because that's a real high sugar content, and that's just hollow,
Right, just empty calories.
empty
yeah.
calories, yeah.
Make sure that the carbs that you do eat are not empty, because a lot of like the simple sugars that you get in sodas, those are empty calories.
Yeah. And I think that's something that people don't think, that, it's sort of like we always tease about, well, if it's a broken cookie, you can eat it because it's not that many calories.
Yeah.
But by drinking sodas, that can be a really easy way to put on a lot of calories.
It's very easy, yeah. So, and just in general, just watch your carbohydrate intake. We're a carb society. We really like our carbs, and try and focus a little more on protein, on healthy protein. That's sometimes hard to fit into a schedule, hard to fit into your meals and snacks. But every snack, every meal, you want to have some protein.
Okay. And besides meat, besides the chicken and beef and that kind of thing, what other foods have protein in them?
Any kind of dairy, nuts,
Okay.
any kind of beans, legumes.
Garbanzo beans, okay.
There are a few vegetables that'll have some protein. And now they're coming out with quite a few protein bars, protein mixes that are actually pretty good.
Oh, okay. All right. So that might be an alternative to
Could be.
grabbing that can of soda or something, is to
definitely.
maybe have a protein bar and fill yourself up if you're feeling hungry in between.
Be a lot better for you.
Yeah. Is there any truth, Johnny, to don't eat 3 hours before you go to sleep? In other words, once you've had supper or dinner, be pretty much done for that day.
It's not necessarily true. Everyone's going to be a little different, but if you look at, and this is just a very specific kind of instance, but say someone with diabetes, that they will need to eat not too long before they go to bed to be able to regulate their blood sugar throughout the night.
Right.
So even if you look at that one specific case, obviously some people will need to eat, others may not need to.
Yeah.
But your body's not going to say, well, you fed me right before going to sleep, I'm going to pack those pounds on. I mean, it doesn't really work that way.
Okay.
But if you're one of those people that likes to eat ice cream and a soda, 30 minutes before bed, then you might be in trouble.
Not the soda, but you hit on the ice cream. Yeah, ice cream or potato chips. I keep them out of the house. That's my motto right now, or I keep them.
If they're not there, you can't have them.
That's right. Right. So I bought a new fruit bowl, and there sits the fruit, and the fruit bowl's emptying out very quickly because that's what I'm grabbing now. So those little cutie tangerines or tangelos. Oh my goodness, those are great. Those take care of wanting a sweet. They're great
I
for
agree.
that. So, well, Johnny, I want to thank you for being on the show and
You're welcome. Thank you.
sharing lots of ideas for people to get healthier in 2013. And we want to thank you for joining the show today. Our very first, this is your host, Donna McMullen, signing off for BRMC's Healthy Connections. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.